We've talked about how to build major and minor triads. A triad is a chord of 3 notes with a root, a third, and a fifth. Well, in a scale, there are some triads that are more important than others. The primary triads, or primary chords, in any scale are built on the 1st degree of the scale, the 4th and 5th degrees of the scale. Some people consider 6 a primary chord as well. It's certainly the next most important chord, even if it's not a primary chord. So the triads, again as a chord of 3 notes, are formed by the 1st, which is the tonic note, 4th, which is the subdominant, and the 5th, the dominant degrees of the scale. This is true for major and for minor scales. So if we look at the primary chords in the key of C, where C is the tonic and the 1st degree of the scale, the 1 chord, 1st degree of the scale, notice how it's written in a Roman numeral because it's more important. And it will form a major chord. Always in a major key, the 1 chord, the tonic chord, is major. Skipping over the 2 and the 3 to the 4 chord, the subdominant chord, which is the 4 chord, 1 before 5 is 4 in Roman numerals, that's also a major chord, and the final one, the dominant, is also a major chord. So in any key, if we started in the key of G, it would be the triad built on the 1st degree of the scale, the 4th and the 5th degree of the scale. They wouldn't be C, F, and G if we were starting on G, but they would be the 1st, the 4th, and the 5th. These are the primary chords. Notice if you look closely, that should really be an A. I need to email them and tell them that. Because down here, the secondary chords are the other ones. These are the chords that we would use after we use the major chords in traditional harmony. And they all work out to be different. They're not actually major. The 2 chord is minor. The 3 chord is minor. So these will not usually be the chords you go to when you start composing. If you are in any key, major or minor, the 1, 4, and 5 are your safest bets to compose something. You might look at the 6. And you would never in a million years look at the 7th because it turns out to be diminished and sounds like this. So diminished chords can be handy, but we usually never use the 7. The primary chords are built on the 1st, 4th, and 5th degrees of any scale, and to build a triad, you start with that scale note and traffic light it, root, 3rd, 5th.